Okay, so now I've taken the full prong drive out. We're going to do spindle turning by holding just one end. This is the piece that I've cut off on the bandsaw. This will go into these jaws. These jaws have a dovetail on the exterior that goes into an internal dovetail recess that you make for a bowl. But on the inside edge here we've got just like an L-shaped gripping jaw, and that will just dig into this and it won't come loose. The piece of wood that's being gripped will be lost. We will just not use that for the final item. So it's just a question of tightening this up good enough, keeping it against the face of the chuck. It will make an indent into the wood. I'm gripping, I don't want this to come off, so I'm putting quite a lot of force on it. If there's any slight variation in its wobbling compared to how we turned it to a cylinder before, that will be taken away in a minute once we've got cracking. So now we can turn a spinning top. This end will be the pointy end, the inside end will be the stem, and then we'll part it off. So set up the rest here, make sure it doesn't hit these jaws of the chuck or the wood, obviously. Make sure it's not going to move. I'm now going to change the speed. I'll turn it off at the mains. This has you have to physically change the belt over on this lathe. It's a bit of a pain, but doesn't take long. So we're going up to 2000 highest speed. I'll switch it back on. Right, so you should see a bit of a difference now. Alright, so because this is a spindle, the grain's running parallel with the bed of the lathe. We're going to use spindle gouges because they're designed for this kind of work. They have a shallow notch in them compared to a bowl gouge. A bowl gouge has a very deep U or parabolic or V-shaped groove in it. The spindle gouge is noticeably different. It has a very shallow, let me see if I can show you on here. I don't know, it's probably not in focus, but anyway, basically this scallop along the edge of the gouge is really relatively, shouldn't be any more than halfway down the total thickness of the metal in a spindle gouge. Right, so this is a 3/8, roughly 10mm spindle gouge, and to use it again, bevel rubbing, we can start to make coves and beads by twisting, not just moving the arm at an angle, but we can also twist. But because we're making a V-shaped spinning top, we want it over on its side, so if you like, it's almost at 2 o'clock. Like that. You just start at the corner. You can adjust the angle by moving the tool handle. It's important to keep the bevel rubbing as you're cutting. This will take a bit of practice, but now if you want, instead of just having a V-cut, you could put some sort of an OG in here. And to do that, you'd have to twist so that the open flute of the gouge is more or less upwards, rather than being over on its side. So we can start on the side, and then I'm going to twist it. So, how to describe this? So, basically, I'm starting on the side because I don't want to come off, but immediately I'm turning around. And then I'm coming around again, twisting it back. So now we've got a bit of a curve going on here. Hopefully you can see. So there we have actually quite a sharp point on there, and maybe not such a good idea for a spinning top, but hopefully you can see how I've formed that curve. So now what I'm going to do is use the parting tool. Parting tool is just a V-shaped tool. This one is about 3.5mm wide. This is for making slots. You need to leave some wood on the top of the curve here, because we want some weight on this. So I'm going to come up here. I can also use, although there will be a lot more force on the edge, this is a square parting tool. I think it's 3/8, so this is about 10mm. You want to start with the bevel rubbing again, and we go in and we follow the bevel as it gets smaller. You don't just go in and out like that. So you start like this. See the tool following an arc. So at this stage we've got over 1 inch left in there. We've shaped the outside. We should probably sand this now, because if we make this spinning top handle, if you like, or the stem too narrow now, this will then has the possibility of breaking when we sand it. So probably best now to sand and even put the finish on now here. then we can finish off this bit, sand it, oil it, and then we can part it off. Starting with 150 and working through to 320. Problem with the spalted beech, you get chips coming out. It's not leaving a very good finish really. It's a bit unfortunate. Anyway, that's now smooth. So now I'm just going to put some finish on the shaped end of the spinning top. This is 50/50 cellulose thinners and cellulose sanding sealer. I just put an old shirt on the lathe bed. Make sure it's mixed around a bit, and just apply it by hand. Again, I need to find out what to do with this spalted beech, because it's got some little chunks coming out of it. I would imagine I'd have to fill it with a filler or epoxy or something. But I've never turned spalted beech before, so this is new to me. I normally leave this for a few minutes to dry, put another coat on, and then finalise it with a coat or two of wax. But I mean, everybody's got their own methods of finishing. Wow, there's some big cracks in there. Leave that to dry. Okay, so now I've put 2 coats of the 50/50 sanding sealer and cellulose thinners. Now I've got some Liberon wax polish, Black Bison neutral. Oops. And using a synthetic cloth. So set this lathe to the lowest speed. This is about 450, I think. And just smooth it in. So the synthetic pad just burnishes it a little bit. Let it dry for a few minutes, and then what we'll do is grab some shavings and burnish the wax off. So now we've let the wax dry, we'll just grab some of our shavings. I'm just going to turn the motor on. Use it to burnish off the wax. Preferable to have shavings, but then you can just use a duster. Okay, so that's now sealed and waxed.